Hello, everyone! Some people travel to India to explore famous temples and popular cities, but there are also those who seek out more unusual sights. Take, for instance, this fort situated atop a cliff. However, I'd argue that the main attraction is the journey to the fort itself. To reach it, tourists must ascend 200 steps. The extraordinary staircase is carved directly into the rock, resulting in an 80-degree incline.
One step at a time.
You can experience a full range of emotions when you climb down and glance below. It's enough to send shivers down your spine. And believe it or not, some adventurous souls even dare to make the climb in rainy weather. The last thing anyone would want to do is slip on that particular staircase. The next thrilling activity is only for seasoned and well-trained cyclists. Why, you ask? Because this cycling track is unlike any other. It's set inside an abandoned mine, and extreme riders from all over the globe flock to it. Many people specifically travel to Slovenia just to experience the adrenaline rush on this one-of-a-kind track. This place offers a mix of calm sections where you can catch your breath and challenging sections where you'll need to stay focused and bring your A game. It's no surprise that the track is also known as the Black Hole, as you never know what's lurking around the next dark corner. Whoever said there's nothing to do in cold regions during winter clearly hasn't met these extreme travelers. Check out what they get up to. Imagine exploring an underwater city made up of caves, tunnels, and icebergs. That's exactly what ice diving in Lake Baikal is like. It's not for the faint-hearted. Diving into a massive lake in freezing temperatures is a serious commitment. Those who do it are truly passionate about their hobby. It takes a lot of effort just to get into the water. Cutting through such thick ice is a real challenge, but boy, is it worth it. Think about it. Millions of people have seen the Statue of Liberty, but only a handful have experienced Lake Baikal from this unique perspective. Here's another unique spot to add to your list of places found only in Dubai. This time, they've built the deepest pool, but it's not just 60 meters of water, it's a real underwater city. Divers who are a bit tired of natural reefs love coming here. During a dive, you can work on your skills and explore furniture, a sunken car, or even play a game of pool. It's not just your average diving experience, it's practically a trip to a museum. Swimming in a regular pool can't compare to the exhilaration you'll feel visiting the Devil's Pool. This extraordinary natural pool is located at the top of Victoria Falls in South Africa. With guides by their side, tourists can not only take in the breathtaking views from the shore, but also venture into the water. Right at the edge of the waterfall, a small stone barrier has naturally formed over the years, allowing people to swim right up to the point where the water plunges into the abyss. Thanks to this stone wall, this place is surprisingly safe, and if you hold on tightly to your guide, it's almost impossible to fall. I'm 100% sure the view from there is absolutely magical. I bet you've had a dream like this at least once in your life. Now imagine that for some people, it's not just a dream, but real life, because flying is their favorite hobby. In the Dolomites, there's an extraordinary adventure for these daredevils. Wearing special wingsuits, these brave people leap from steep cliffs and peaks to experience a sensation of flight that most of us can only imagine. However, this extreme sport is only for the pros. To get the permit to fly in a wingsuit, you need to have completed hundreds of parachute jumps. But in return, you get to enjoy breathtaking views that usually only birds get to see. People with claustrophobia might think divers are crazy for exploring underwater caves, but divers worldwide would beg to differ, especially when talking about this incredible spot in Mexico. Nojotznachik is the second largest underwater cave system on the planet, stretching nearly 400 kilometers. If you're wondering why anyone would venture into such an isolated underwater place with no immediate way to surface, let me explain. These caves are more breathtaking than any modern movie about an underwater world. Imagine seeing it with your own eyes and even touching this magic. But before you rush out to buy a wetsuit, there's a catch. Only professional divers are allowed to dive here, so you'll need to get certified first. Coming face to face with a crocodile might sound like the worst idea ever, right? But hear me out. In Australia, tourists have the chance to swim in a pool with a massive, hungry crocodile. Don't worry, you're not on the menu. During the dive, people are safely enclosed in a strong capsule that keeps them separated from the predator while allowing them to get incredibly close. Even with a solid barrier, the adrenaline rush when the jaws of the hungry crocodile snap just centimeters away from your face is intense. Iceland is renowned for its volcanoes with tongue-twisting names, and this one is no exception. Located just 30 kilometers from the capital, it's easy to find. Just follow the crowds of tourists. Hundreds or even thousands of people regularly flock here to witness the volcano erupt and admire the solidifying lava up close. Thanks to its location, this volcano is considered one of the best in the world for observation. It's not as tall as others and is nestled among the mountains, so even from a small hill, you can get a stunning view of the vibrant, boiling lava. The only challenge might be finding a good spot to watch. During eruptions, thousands of people gather here because who would want to miss this show? Who Who says a trip to an amusement park can't be eerie and send shivers down your spine? You'll see how possible it is when you look at this old park in Nara, Japan. Built in 1961 and modeled after the famous Disneyland, this park quickly became a hotspot for millions of visitors. However, as new parks emerged nearby, tourists started to lose interest, and Dreamland officially closed in 2006. All the rides and buildings were left as they were. And over time, this once vibrant and festive place turned into a creepy and abandoned place. Today, it's hard to imagine that fun once filled the air here. Now, tourists come to immerse themselves in the atmosphere of desolation and walk among the abandoned rides and carousels. Surprisingly, even now, long after the park has been deserted, a visit to Dreamland leaves a strong emotional impression on everyone who comes here. For circus performers who are used to pulling off extreme stunts without safety harnesses, this might seem like a breeze, but for the rest of us, it's a genuine test of courage. High up in the Swiss Alps, there's an unusual trail that sits 300 meters above the ground. Tourists are invited to walk on a glass bridge, balance on a thin cable, or crawl across a net stretched over the abyss. While you might manage the glass bridge with your eyes closed, the rope and net swaying in the wind are truly unsettling. Plus, you have to conquer all this without any safety measures. Once they step onto this path, many people probably forget all about the Alps' beauty and only think about getting back home safely. Imagine a boat ride on the White Nile in one of Uganda's most breathtaking spots. Sounds amazing, right? But there's a catch. Rafting here is not for the faint-hearted. Only the bravest of extreme athletes, ready to battle the water's elements, take on this challenge. Rafting on the White Nile is like a constant struggle. You have to navigate rocky obstacles, fight against waves, and adapt to the current. Even with an experienced guide by your side, this adventure is definitely not for everyone. There are several routes on the river, so beginners can opt for a less intense descent. The river is deeper and has fewer rocky obstacles on the calmer sections. But don't worry, you won't get bored. The adrenaline rush is guaranteed. When every mountain has been explored and every known trail has been walked, adventurous tourists start seeking out new, unusual routes. That's how many end up discovering the ice caves of Iceland. What sets this place apart is that it's entirely created by nature, and it's not exactly easy to reach. To get to the cave of crystal blue ice, you have to venture deep inside the glaciers. It's a long and tiring journey, but the sight that awaits you is absolutely worth the effort. These caves can only be seen in winter when the meltwater freezes, offering a unique spectacle for every visitor. Even if you decide to return the following year, the cave will have transformed. It's truly a once-in-a-lifetime experience. In 2014, an architect had the bright idea to connect two notable landmarks in Austria, an ancient castle and the opposing fort. Several months later, an astonishing bridge was built, enabling tourists to walk between the two attractions. However, only those who aren't afraid of heights dare to cross, as the bridge is situated 114 meters above the ground. Despite its seemingly fragile appearance, the bridge is incredibly sturdy and can support up to 500 people at a time. If you initially thought you'd never step foot on such a bridge, just take a moment to appreciate this breathtaking view. Might make you reconsider. This suspension bridge in Henan Province, China, is definitely not for the faint-hearted. At first glance, the 430-meter-long bridge looks solid and sturdy, and the views it offers are stunning. But here's the catch. The most breathtaking views are reserved for those who dare to look down. The bridge is made of strong glass, revealing a 360-meter-high abyss beneath your feet. If you're afraid of heights, this might not be the place for you, unless you plan to cross the entire bridge with your eyes closed. But those who have ventured onto the bridge rave about the experience and insist it's not to be missed. Welcome to the Neptune Islands, where divers are invited to face one of life's most heart-pounding adventures, coming face to face with a shark and living to tell the tale. This unique tour begins with a trip to the islands off the coast of South Australia, but the real challenge awaits underwater. In the realm of the great white sharks. Normally, such a dive would be a death wish, but here, you're lowered into the water in a specially designed cage. It's built to keep sharks out, but there's a catch. There's one large opening that allows these predators to get uncomfortably close. Tourists are strongly advised to stay away from the edges of the cage and avoid grabbing onto it when a shark swims by. After all, the only thing you want to lose down there is your fear, not your fingers. When some people think of the Alps, they picture beautiful mountains with lush green grass and cows grazing peacefully. But for others, it's all about the thrill of biking straight up Rocky Mountains. That's what makes them extreme. Avid cyclists quickly grow tired of flat asphalt rides. So they eagerly hoist their bikes onto their shoulders and climb up the mountains. The journey is tough, but the chance to ride through the magnificent Dolomites makes it worth it. Judging by his laughter, whoa! This guy clearly doesn't regret his decision one bit. Californians are absolutely obsessed with hiking, especially when the payoff is jaw-dropping views. But to witness this particular scene, you'll have to put in some serious effort. Climbing the granite monolith known as Half Dome is a tough challenge. The trail kicks off in the wilderness and steadily ascends. The real test begins at the elevation gain. There, the trail morphs into an almost vertical route that's technically considered a staircase. With wooden steps and ropes to cling to, tourists do their best to avoid a fall. Even with these safety measures, the climb is genuinely terrifying. The entire round trip takes between 10 to 12 hours and is utterly exhausting. But every grueling step is definitely worth it for the sake of that view.
Enjoying it. Yeah, it's cool.
There's a stairway in Austria that will make your heart race like never before. It's home to a famous rock climbing route that starts off seemingly harmless, but soon becomes a real challenge. A stairway to heaven. Physically, climbing it isn't the hard part, it's the mental game that's truly tough. Try to imagine pushing yourself to conquer this suspended ladder, knowing that every time you look down, you'll see this. Feeling dizzy yet? And you're just looking at it through a screen. Now you can appreciate just how brave those who dare to climb this ladder really are. Check out another incredible bridge, this time in the Swiss Alps. Every year, around 20,000 people visit this suspended structure to see the unique Trift glacier and its stunningly beautiful lake. It's like stepping into the wallpaper on your desktop. But to enjoy this sight, you first have to conquer a cable car ride, climb up the mountain, and then gather the courage to step onto the suspension bridge, which hovers 100 meters above the ground. After such a long journey, it would be a shame to chicken out at the last moment and miss the magnificent view. That's why many people push through their fear and dare to cross the bridge. As scary as it sounds, the view is truly worth it. You might be surprised, but Queen's Bath isn't a pool at a fancy hotel. It's a natural body of water in Hawaii. Picture this: crystal clear water and breathtaking views. Sounds pretty incredible, right? It's no wonder so many people want to take a dip in this beautiful place. However, behind this serene scene lies the true power of nature. Powerful waves and changing water levels can catch you off guard. The water can rise unexpectedly, and even experienced swimmers can struggle. Swimming in Queen's Bath is always a risk, but those seeking a unique experience are willing to take the chance. Is this the cave where Batman's hideout is? Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, we live in the real world, not in a comic book universe. But that doesn't make visiting these bat caves any less amazing. There's a good reason why hundreds of tourists keep including these spots in their Cambodia travel plans. Plus, it's completely free. To witness this unusual event, all you need to do is make your way to the rock, as the entrance is open to everyone. Usually there are cozy cafes with benches nearby where people gather, waiting for the unique spectacle to begin. And then suddenly, it starts. For nearly half an hour, up to 1 million bats stream out of their home in a continuous flow. Seeing something like this with your own eyes is definitely an experience you'll never forget.
Hand it over to me.
If I don't destroy it first.
Okay, So, take your time. The squeeze itself, this is the best space to try to fit your body through.
Really filming this?
But that's all right. I'll only post it if it's good.
Oh my god.
I can always pull you if you need a pull.
Hang on.
Want me to pull you?
Hang on a sec, I'm gonna rest. Doody doody doo.
Take as long as...
It seems like the creator of this attraction decided to let his intrusive thoughts win. Luckily, he did it in a safe way. How else can you explain that you can legally jump off the edge of one of Brazil's most stunning waterfalls? Yes, straight down! Of course, there are experienced instructors guiding the brave thrill seekers, and each jumper is equipped with special gear. On this unique adventure, they experience a 30-meter free fall into the abyss from the waterfall's edge. And surprisingly, everyone loves it. So, how much would you pay for the chance to make an extreme jump in such an incredibly beautiful place? Or maybe the real question is, how much would someone have to pay you? Any serious climbing enthusiast needs to check out this base in China at least once. Nestled in the mountains, it offers 3 unique climbing routes that are 650, 850, and 900 meters long. For those with enough courage, there's a suspended ladder and a steep cliff to conquer. This 90-degree climb involves holding onto special handrails securely anchored in the rock. Of course, everyone is equipped with a safety harness, but even that might not be enough to convince some people to attempt such heights. It's a shame they don't hand out some courage potion along with the helmet at the start. Even if you've never set foot in Arizona, you've definitely heard of this iconic place. The Grand Canyon is renowned worldwide, and for good reason. It's a genuine natural wonder. The rocky landscape stretches over a vast area, so much so that temperatures can vary significantly from one end of the park to the other. What makes this place truly unique is the variety of activities it offers. Here you can hike across rugged terrain, walk along the canyon floor between massive mountain formations, go rafting on the river, or even ride a horse along the edge of a cliff. It's an amazing spot where nature lovers who can't sit still can get their adrenaline fix in countless ways.
It doesn't go any further than that. And if I move my legs, I go further down it.